Good morning, guys. It is officially the second week of visually living here in this new apartment, and it feels really good. Look at all these plants. I woke up in a jungle. Anyways, let's get this day started. Oh. Good morning, spaghetti. She said, fuck you. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kai and I am on the toilet, as you can see. I always for some reason have to show you guys that I'm pooping for some freaking reason I don't know. Oh, maybe I like oversharing. Anyways, you have to watch it. I'm just joking. You can scrub over if you want. But yeah, my name is Kai. I was a nursing student and attended Columbia University, and I am in my process of studying for my NClex for the second time. If you guys seen my last video, I talked about how I failed my first NClex that I took. It was pretty hard. I haven't failed a really important exam like that in a very long time, so I'm doing better now because I am doing things to get over that hump, and hopefully I'm gonna pass the second time. So I just been grinding super hard with that, but I know it's the start of spring semester for a lot of people. And so I wanted to share some tips about nursing school and what I learned and what I wish I had knew before going into nursing school. I know it's a busy day, I got a lot of things up ahead, so I will get into those points very soon. But I have to wipe and start my morning routine. But it's also kind of hard because this cat is going crazy right in front of me. And on top of that, moving into this new apartment, for some reason I thought putting the litter box right in front of me while I'm taking a shit would be like a good choice. Because like, not only am I smelling my own shit, now I'm smelling my own cat's shit right in front of me, and I'm looking at her shit as I speak to you guys. Oh, that's my fault. But this apartment's so tiny, so I have to put it here. I'm gonna just wipe, so I'm gonna have some privacy. My girlfriend got me a really nice espresso machine for my graduation gift so that I would stop spending useless money on coffee that is way overpriced here in New York City. And I love using it because it's so cute, it's so pretty. Like, it goes with the aesthetic of this room so much that I mean, honestly, I don't mind spending like maybe $5 on coffee or $6. But like, the fact that this is so pretty, that's more of the reason why I want to use it. It's just so cute, I have to use it. Let's make some coffee. I will say it's pretty good at making espresso. Cheers! Starting this year, I've been trying to actually cope with my anxiety, because before, whenever I would have anxiety, I didn't really try to cope with it. I just kind of just let it happen. I'll end up like overeating, over shopping, doing the not so healthy habits to overcome anxiety. So I wanted to kind of better myself for this year by journaling in my anti-anxiety book every morning. So this anti-anxiety book has been surprisingly helpful. I've never been the person to like write down my feelings or thoughts at all. Never journaled really. But I think when I write, I bring these like vague thoughts in my head out to reality, and it becomes more concrete, and I'm more aware of what I'm actually feeling or what I'm thinking. And it's like I'm discovering myself in a way. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not the best at explaining this kind of stuff, but I guess I can be a little bit vulnerable here. I deal with a lot of like social anxiety and like worrying if what I'm doing is right. I'm always second guessing myself. A lot of my friends tell me it's because I like not confident in myself, or I don't believe in myself, and maybe that's right, maybe that's true, but I wanted to journal a lot because a lot of times I tell myself like I am not enough, I am not worthy of being listened to during like social interactions, so I end up just becoming the listener. I'm never really the one to initiate what I'm thinking first. I'm always asking questions to the other person so that I don't have to talk, because in a way I feel like I'm worried that what I have to say isn't valuable to them, or like they're not really listening, or they don't really care what I have to say. So I'm just reminding myself in this anxiety journal, like you don't have to be the most social, you don't have to be the most like unique, you don't have to be the most funniest. No one's expecting you to be anything but just you, I guess. But considering all these, like the fact that I don't have to be anything, I still want to put in the effort to like still be curious of others and ask their story, get to know the people around you. I know New York City, like living here, could be super busy, but sometimes it's just super important, I feel like, to just take a second to really learn the people around you, right? You're not stuck in this bubble in your own head. Like, you're living with people. It's a social ass city. You can't be this person who's like so self-absorbed. Yeah, so that's just a bit of my journaling that I wrote for today. But I shall get ready because I have to go study now. This was my mental study. Now I gotta go actual academic study. Guys, lately I've been trying Dr. Chart every Sunday tone up sunscreen, and I think it's one of my favorite products right now. It's like a sunscreen but also has like a tinting effect, so it evens out your skin tone, brightens your facial complexion up. On top of that, it's SPF, so, and it doesn't break me out. That's the biggest thing. The fact that this does not break me out is a miracle. Always wear your leggings under your pants, especially in the cold. New York City, baby, that's how you gotta do it. No, for real though, like, try wearing compression pants under your pants. It makes that much of a difference. Ugh. My favorite cologne. Oh my god, for once, New York City is not cold in January. Alright, yeah, my roommate's heading to school, but I'm gonna head to a cafe nearby in East Village because there's so many cute little cafes in East Village. I'm gonna study for my NClex there. Can't fail again, so I actually gotta double down and study really hard this time. Thankfully, a lot of the cafes in East Village are very aesthetic and cute, so it'll give me the motivation to study hard. So I came to one of my favorite cafes in East Village. It's called La Fine. It's really small, so you have to come at the right time to get a good seating, but I got prime seating today. It's like an area right by the window where you kind of take your shoes off. You get to be on this like cute little tea set looking table, and it's so cute, so I think I'll be able to study well here because of that. So this is actually my second time taking the NClex. NClex is the license test that all nursing students have to take to actually become a nurse. I failed my first time and it was kind of like demoralizing because it's like I failed to be a nurse pretty much. But I'm not gonna let that drag me down. I am planning to take it a second time, but I am preparing it smarter and harder. First time I took the test, I prepared with UWorld, which is an online resource for me to like practice test questions, like kind of get used to how NClex tests me. And I'm going to use that again for the second time. But the difference is I will do double the number of questions on UWorld and also sit for a longer period of time just building my test stamina up. And possibly taking better notes on my iPad, like actually thinking through why I got a question wrong, because I mean on UWorld they give me like rationales and explanations, so I might as well utilize that, you know, rather than just getting something wrong and just skipping over it. Like actually taking the time to read through it, take notes on it, research about it, so that way I retain the information. So let's do it. So I just finished the exam and I still ended up like averaging 62%. That kind of falls in line with all my other test scores so far. I did take a lot longer today. I usually take about an hour, but today I took about 2 hours just so I could read the question like better and with more attention. It's sad to see that like
Even if I took more time and more care reading the question and answering it more thoroughly, it still falls with my normal average of like a 60%. So it was a little disheartening, I guess, but maybe it's just like a repetition thing. I'll try again tomorrow, but hopefully I could go back up to like the 72-73% average, because apparently on UWorld that's like a good like area you want to fall into to actually pass the NCLEX. I'll try again tomorrow. Maybe it'll be better tomorrow.
Alright guys, I'm gonna take a little study break. Gonna go thrifting because New York City has literally the best thrift scene in the world, I feel like. Okay, that might be an overstatement, but honestly, at least in the country. Like if you're in the West Village, Greenwich Village, or East Village area, I am telling you, you will find the best like vintage finds ever. And honestly, when I thrift, I just put my AirPods on, just listen to music, and I just shop. It's pretty therapeutic, I'd say, and helps with my stress, especially when I'm studying. I will say, if you're not from New York and you are thrifting in New York, it's not going to be like the $2, $5 deals. It's usually around like $30, $40. So really, it's not about thrifting about the price. It's about thrifting about the style. So just warning you guys, because I end up spending about like typically $100 whenever I have like a thrifting haul. But I'm going to put my music back on so I could have my therapy session. So we came to Buffalo Exchange, one of my favorite thrift store chains in New York. I also never know what I'm gonna buy, so I'll let it up to the thrift gods to show me what I want. Typically when I buy like pants, I only shop really in the women's section, because for some reason like my waist size only fits like girls. And if I ever try to buy like guys pants, like it never fits, like it's either too big or too long for me, so I just end up going to the girls section. And at first I was like self-conscious because like, oh, I'm shopping in the girls section, but like honestly I don't give a fuck. Like who cares? If I buy women's clothes, then I buy women's clothes. But it took a while to get here though, honestly. So I got like denim pants or jeans, I guess. Different washes of blue, I guess. And then this really cool like leather jacket. But fun fact, they're all from the women's section, so we'll see how they fit. I swear all the cool stuff, all the girls have it. What's up with you girls? Stealing all the fashion from us. I ended up only getting one of the jeans, like everything else was not a good fit. But honestly, I don't really want to get a whole bunch of things, so I still want to save money, so I'm glad I only got 2 things so far. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go get lunch with my girlfriend, and it's pretty cold, so it'll be pretty good to get some hot soup, some authentic Korean stew. Say hi. So we came to a Korean restaurant called Tosokchan, I think. Oh my god, I'm so full. She's full too. Alright guys, we are back home, and I know for a lot of you guys it is the start of the spring semester, so I wanted to share some tips and pointers, things I learned throughout nursing school, but also things I wish I knew before starting nursing school. First thing I wish I knew before going into this program was the importance of making friends. First half of my program, I didn't really talk to anyone. Like I was the biggest like introvert. I guess, I don't know, I'm shy in the beginning. Because I didn't really have many friends, I had a hard time being in the loop with certain things that was happening around the program, or like deadlines or events, because there's nobody like around me talking about it, or even talking to me about it for me to be reminded and things like that. It was a little bit difficult, I think, and also the fact that like most of the time I really studied by myself, and rarely did I ever like study with a friend or in a group. I think because of that, my potential test scores were definitely capped because I wasn't really studying optimally. Because for me, my optimal studying style is talking to other people about what their view on the concept is, and then comparing it to my view on my understanding of the concept, and then like testing each other, and then like doing doing flashcards with each other. But for some reason, I just never did any of that because I didn't talk to anyone. And like not having many friends, I didn't really get that comfort I wanted whenever I like did bad on a test. There was no one for me to like look around to and be like, yo, you did bad, I did bad too. Like there was no sense of like comfort there. And so it was kind of like very lonely throughout the program for me because of that. And you're probably thinking, oh, why don't you just make friends? I don't know, I guess the social anxiety in me or like the shy introvert side of me it just held me down. Like I don't know, it was just a big barrier for me throughout school. So make friends, guys, make friends in nursing school. And if you're an introvert like me, just put yourself out there a little bit more, because I guarantee you being in a community within your program is so much more freeing and comforting, especially when you can get so easily stressed throughout this whole program. So make friends, it's so important. And the second thing is utilizing open labs and actually trying during clinicals. We'd have 2 days on the weekends where you could go in during open lab and just kind of practice whatever you learned during your like lab sessions throughout the week. I really suffered the consequence of not doing that, because whenever we would have like our preceptors would test us on our head-to-toe exams, I would always have to redo it like 3-4 times because I failed the assessments. But the thing is, I never went into open lab to even practice it. What I learned in lab was just stayed at lab. It never really, I guess, stuck to me because I never tried to learn it again. Whenever you have a chance to take open lab, go and talk to the TAs, go practice with TAs, take a friend or roommate with you, do like long assessments on each other, or like listen to your hearts. And also like during clinicals, that's like your time to practice what you learn in lab and put it to action. Go to your patients that you meet during your clinicals and ask them, hey, could I practice my like assessments on you? And most of the time they're pretty nice about it. It's like go in your clinicals and don't just like stand there and just like waiting for someone to tell you to do something. Like take initiative and like practice with the actual patients there, because it builds this confidence that like, oh, I could actually do this when I become a nurse. And you build like this momentum and like work style that you're comfortable with. And that's why you should definitely take every opportunity you have during your clinicals and open labs. On the topic of clinicals, talk to your nurses. Talk to the nurses that you work with during your clinicals. Like, I was always scared to talk to them for some reason because I thought they were like, oh, they probably don't want to be bothered. But trust me guys, there are so many nice nurses that are wanting to teach and wanting to talk to their nursing students. Like the nurses are such good resource because they know what it was like to go through nursing school. They know all the tips and tricks to they've passed nursing school. Like they know what's up. So they are the people to ask for when you have the questions. And honestly, when you make good connections with the nurses, they end up remembering you. And when you apply for jobs after nursing school, they're always willing to put in a good word. From my own personal experience, I had a really good connection that I made with one of my preceptors during my clinicals. We're like friends now. Like we talk on Instagram and like we're like genuinely like close because of that initiative I took to befriend that nurse and like talk to them. I think like I have an easier shot of getting a position at the hospital because they could always put in a good word for me. It's easy, just spark a conversation wherever, like whenever you're in your clinicals next, just say, hey, my name is blank and what's your name? Can I learn about your story, or like how is it being a nurse? Make a personal human to human connection. And I guarantee you one of these days you will find someone that you get really close with, bond with them, and then there'll be like a lifelong connection, or like a lifelong friend even. And then my next point is about not comparing yourself to your classmates. This is something I have to remind myself all the time because I am a very bad victim of comparing myself to other people. When you go into nursing school, there's a lot of people coming from different backgrounds. Like some people worked as medical assistants, EMTs, or paramedics, or phlebotomists. Everyone's in their own lane. Like it's not fair for you to compare where you are in your nursing journey to somebody else when they might have a totally different upbringing, right? When you're developing your work style or like work habit as a nursing student, find your own rhythm, because that's so important. When you try to copy someone else's way of talking to the patients or their way of assessing lungs or their order of assessments, like you get caught up in what they're doing, that it's hard for you to develop your own rhythm, because that builds your confidence as a nurse in the future. So for example, I'm an introvert and a lot of my classmates were very extrovert. They're very outgoing, so they're like, hey, how are you doing? They're very like upbeat and lively, and I tend to be a little bit more quiet and shy in the beginning. But that's them. I'm not going to try to copy them because that's going to hinder me from developing my own relationship with the patient, and also it won't be me. Like I don't want to be fake with my patients. So if I'm shy and quiet, I'm going to go into it kind of shy and quiet. I'll be like, hey, hi, how are you doing? My name is Kai. Like I don't have to be this like super upbeat, lively nurse that other people are. Trust me, when you find your own spot in all this, like becoming a nurse will be so much more you. And my last word of advice is to just take it slow. Like nursing school is hard. There's going to be a lot of things where you don't get. But for me, I was the last of my class throughout the whole entire program. My learning curve is very slow, so I would always be the last one to catch up to. Regardless of how many A's you get in nursing school or how many C's A's or B's you get, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we all become nurses. So don't beat yourself up too hard when it's like you're not performing at the best level, or like you're not making all the A's that you want, or clinicals isn't coming at the speed that you want. You'll make it. Just give yourself the grace and just give yourself the patience to get there. Learn the way of how your school tests you. Test right and test good. Then once you get the degree and you become a nurse, that's when your real job starts. I feel like that's when you really get to learn how to be a nurse and really interact with patients and find your own workflow and things like that. And so I hope these things were a little bit helpful for you guys. There's a lot of things that I went through that I want to share with you from my experience. So hopefully you could relate a little bit, but I'm not the greatest at explaining. So I'm sorry guys if a lot of it didn't make sense, but I'm trying. Yeah, I think my social battery is running out, so I'm gonna take a break. We got a package, and I think I know what it is. Oh, my Fabletics hospital scrubs. They came in so fast. All right, let's try them on. So I finally received my long-awaited Fabletics scrubs in the mail, and let me tell you guys, wearing these scrubs just make me want to work. And ignoring my awkward modeling shots, they're so breathable, super lightweight, and the 4-way stretch I get on this is insane. Like, I don't feel restricted at all, and it's free range of motion. And I think when I'm working as a nurse, that breathability factor is so important, because I'll be running around all day, and the last thing I need is to be uncomfortable. And adding on to that, some of the best features are that it's anti-fade, anti-shrink, antimicrobial, odor control, and also wrinkle resist, which makes it a hell of a scrub. And my other favorite piece is the scrub jacket. As comfortable and functional it is also super stylish. Perfect from even going to the gym straight to work. Honestly, no problem. So make sure you check out the link in my bio and try on Fabletics scrubs today, and it'll change the way you see scrubs forever. So, you know, I just bought groceries, and I told myself for this year, like, I'm trying not to eat out. Well, I live away maybe 5 minutes from my roommate and I's favorite udon place in New York City, and my roommate just asked me if I wanted to go eat. So here's my dilemma. Stay home and cook it and eat at home, or do I fall into the temptation of my roommate and go eat our favorite fucking udon? What do I do, spaghetti? Which one should I choose? She doesn't care. I don't know what to do, guys. Bro, why isn't that draining?
I don't know.
Ew.
Fuck.
This is, I think they're working on drains on the outside, so all our water's brown. Not sure if it's like shit water or...
Yeah, I was literally gonna take a nice shower, get out, and then go to bed.
There's no particles in there, right?
No, it's just brown.
Yep, so now we're letting the water run, so hopefully whatever the fuck is going on with the pipes, it could work itself out, but there's no way I'm showering or drinking water from that. That's literally disgusting. My roommate's doing push-ups as he waits for the water. What a great ass apartment. We really secured a spot, didn't we?